To do the long tail tubular cast on, you need to start by measuring out a length of yarn like you would for your regular long tail cast on, and making a slip knot and placing it on your working needle. I'm going to hold my yarn similar to the long tail cast on, where I'm going to hold with my bottom 3 fingers of my left hand both strands, and my index finger and my thumb are going to go in between to open them up. And the long tail tubular cast on works in pairs. So a knit stitch paired with a purl stitch, because we're setting up for 1x1 ribbing. Our slip knot is going to count as our first knit stitch. So the first stitch we're going to cast on after that is going to be a purl. To cast on a purl stitch, we're going to take our needle. We're going to go over the top, so over the back yarn, swinging it back away from me. In between, grab the yarn coming off of my thumb, go back down underneath like that. So we've got 1, 2 stitches cast on. Now we need to do a knit stitch. The knit stitch is basically the reverse of that action. So coming toward myself, underneath, in between, grab the yarn coming off of my index finger, back through, and I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. And now we need a purl. So back, in between, grab it, underneath again, and now we've got 2 pairs of stitches. And I'm going to continue casting on like this until I get to the full number of stitches that I need for my pattern. If you're knitting the hat, it's 64 stitches. For the sake of today, I'm just going to cast on 10 or 12. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go forward, grab the yarn, come out, pull it tight, backwards, grab the yarn, come out, pull it tight, forwards, backwards. And I'm going to continue casting on like that. So let's say I just finished casting on all the stitches I need for my hat. I'm going to finish after a purl stitch. I'm going to turn my work around, and I'm going to be careful not to move the yarn from the position that it's currently in, like that. The yarn that's in front now should be the one that's attached to your ball of yarn. The back yarn should be your tail. And I'm going to give it a twist like that to secure that last stitch right there, if you can see that. I don't want that to come undone. Before we can join to work in the round with this cast on, we need to knit 2 setup rows. Just knit straight back and forth. The first setup row you're going to knit is going to be to knit the first stitch through the back. The second stitch, we're going to bring our yarn forward. We're going to slip it purlwise. We're going to bring our yarn back. And I'm going to repeat that across my row. Knit 1 through the back, yarn forward, slip, yarn back. Knit 1 through the back, yarn forward, slip 1, yarn back. And I'm going to continue that all the way across my row for all the stitches that I've cast on. So I've gotten all the way to the end of my row, and I've turned my work around. The second and final setup round that row that we have to do is going to be knit the first stitch just regular this time, not through the back, and then again yarn forward, slip the stitch, yarn back, knit 1, yarn forward, slip, yarn back, all the way across the row again. And after you've completed these 2 setup rows, you're ready to join your work in the round and begin working your 1x1 ribbing. You don't have to knit this obviously in the round. You could use this for a flat piece of knitting like this here, this little flat piece. It sets you up to knit 1x1 ribbing really nicely. It makes a nice stretchy edge that looks really cool and professional looking. And that is it.